Tell me when it's completely.
Baruch atah Yehovah Eloheinu, melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam bech. Baruch atah Yehovah Eloheinu, melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam bech CHOKMAH, uvaravo nekwavim, chalolim, galui weyadua lifnei kisei kevodeka, she'im yipateach echad mehem, o yisatem echad mehem, efshar lehitkwayim, v'la amod lefaneka afilu sha'a echat. Baruch atah Yehovah, rofei kal basar, umafli la'asot. Baruch atah Yehovah Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kwitshanu b'mitzvotayu, v'siwanu la'asok b'divrei torah, v'ha'arevna Yehovah Eloheinu et divrei toratka, b'finu u'fiyot amka beit Yisrael, v'ni'ya anachnu, v'se'esa'enu, v'se'esa'e amka beit Yisrael kulanu yod'e shemeka, v'lomdei torateka lishma. Baruch atah Yehovah hamlamei torah le'amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Yehovah Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikal ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Yehovah noten ha'torah. V'yidaber Yehovah el Moshe lemor, daber el Aharon ve'el banayu lemor, ko tevarku et bnei Yisrael amor lahem. Yevarekaka Yehovah v'yishmereka. Ya'ir Yehovah panayu eleka v'kuneka. Yisa Yehovah panayu eleka v'yasem leka shalom. V'samu et shemi al bnei Yisrael v'ani avarakim.
Hallelujah. It is a good thing to give thanks unto Yehovah, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High, to declare thy loving kindness in the morning, and thy faithfulness in the night seasons, with an instrument of 10 strings, and with the psaltery, with the solemn sound upon the harp. For thou, Yehovah, hast made me glad through thy work. I'll exalt in the works of thy hands. How great are thy works, O Yah, thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring up as grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they may be destroyed forever. But thou, Yehovah, art on high forevermore. For lo thy enemies, O Yehovah, for lo thy enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn hast thou exalted like the horn of the wild ox. I am anointed with rich oil. My eye also have gazed on them that lie in wait for me. Mine ears have heard my desire of the evildoers that rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Yehovah. They shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be full of sap and richness, to declare that Yehovah is upright, my rock in whom there is no unrighteousness.
Shalom, family. Welcome once again to another Shabbat night talk. My name is Lewy. I'm one of the teachers at Congregation BINAH CHOKMAH. Shalom. And thanking the Most High Yah for this holy Shabbat day. Thanking your whole King for all things and everything, food, clothing, and shelter. I'm thankful to this great King for my life, the life of Kobe Yisrael scattered in the four corners of the earth. Thanking the Creator for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and all the things that He does for us, the nation of Yisrael, even in this captivity. We like to thank the Most High King for our lives. We like to thank the Most High King for just being there for us and for understanding us. He is the supreme intellect of the universe, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the one who protects us all and not us ourselves. So it is obligatory for us to give Him glory and give Him praise. I'm thankful to this great King for the understanding that He's given me and the understanding that I'm able to share with all of you, my family, Yisrael. And I'm thankful for all of you and all of you that join us on a weekly basis to come in here, to come in participate. It is a blessing. So thanking the Most High God for that and for all things and everything. The first couple of prayers that you hear were from my brother Rabbi Benjamin, and also the selections that you heard was from the 92nd Psalm, and then you heard the Baruch Hashem instrumental with the congas. That was album that was done by my brother Chief Meku, sort of like a jazz / Afro-Cuban style album that was done quite a few years back. So I was told last week that the music adds a different element to the show, so I'll try to insert some music in between here and there. I think that is important, and to listen to everyone that has something that they want to add onto the show. So Emah Havared last week told me that the music definitely gives it a different feel, and it gets us right into the mood of the Shabbat. So there you go. I know some of you are just going into the Shabbat and it's just getting to that time for you. Here in New York City, we've already been into it for about almost 2 hours. Not quite 2 hours, but for almost maybe an hour and 30 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, something like that. So thanking the creator of heaven and earth once again. First, before I start out, I just want to say this. I want to send out an apology to an elder in the community, an elder who has been through the ups and downs of Israel and has provided many things to this community. And the reason why I'm sending out this apology is because I had a conversation with her last week, and there was something that I said. I'm still trying to find it, but obviously I said it because it came back to her, and it wasn't, like I explained to her, it wasn't done out of a malicious place or me thinking anything maliciously, but I do owe this elder an apology because and this elder that I'm speaking about is Gaveret Yehuda. I believe she's a Judite. So what happened is that I did an interview with this elder a few years back. She didn't like it. She told me why she didn't like it. And me, in speaking, and like I said, in a multitude of words, you're going to make mistakes. And I speak a lot. I'm always before you guys speaking. And somewhere along the line, I blurted out that, what was the statement? She didn't like how she looked in the interview. And I guess I followed up with saying something like, well, ain't nobody looking at the elder like that. But I didn't mean anything offensive or disrespectful by that. What I felt like I was saying is like people just wanted the information, but she was offended, and my deepest and sincerest apologies go out to her and her family. I didn't say it from any point of maliciousness or being disrespectful. I'm still trying to find it. If any of you know exactly where it's at, what video is in when I said that, please tell me, because I've been looking for this. Whenever I said this, I've been looking high and low for it. So if any one of you could remember when I said this, I don't know if I said it in the interview with Guevara or Ra, I'm not sure exactly when I said it, but obviously I said it because it got back to her, and I must have spoke it out into the ether. So I just want to send out my deepest apologies, and I regret that, and I apologize to Gaveret Yehuda for my slip of the tongue, and I hope that she'll be able to forgive me. So any one of you that know what video I said it in, please send it to me. Obviously, somebody went back and let her know, or it was told to her by someone. So whomever it is, not whomever it is, but whoever it is that finds the video and the timestamp, give me the timestamp exactly when I said it, so that I could go in and edit that out and not have it out there. So once again, my apologies to Gaveret Yehuda for that. So, when I do these shows and when I do these things, sometimes I say things in jest and in laughter, and sometimes when you speaking, you might say something that might offend someone. So in no way, shape, or form am I trying to offend anyone. When I'm doing this is the day of the Most High, and I slipped up. I admit my wrong, and I hope that the elder will forgive me. Hallelujah. So we're going to move straight ahead. Emah Sarah says, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Emah Sarah. How you doing, darling? I know you out there, you one of my biggest supporters. I love you. You my girl. We got that egg salad and that codfish coming tomorrow morning, so we good. That's my girl right there, Emah Sarah. She always got my back. She always got some good message, a good message for me, and she always corrects me when I'm wrong. She pulls my coattail with that soft voice, and even when I'm teaching, when I make a mistake, she lets me know, puts me right in my place. But that's what elders are there for. And I respect elders, so I never try to disrespect elders. You got to take your lumps, and the elders always have a good word and something to tell you to keep you on the right path. So Shabbat Shalom, Emah Sarah. Shabbat Shalom to everyone out there. Sister Lavia, Aliyah. Shabbat Shalom to you. Looking forward to seeing you at our Unity Shabbat weekend, which will be the Memorial Day weekend. Everybody make your reservations. Sister Lavia reached out to me the other day, reached out to us, and I believe she'll be there. And she's coming all the way from the other coast. So it shouldn't be any excuse for anybody in between the two coasts. That's extreme. West Coast, East Coast. All right. So Sister Lavia, thank you for supporting us, and hope that everything goes well so that you'll be able to make the trip safely. Shabbat Shalom to Beautiful Forever. Shabbat Shalom to Aria Jackson IV. She want cookies from your Eema. She as well. Okay, I'll make sure I put in the request for next week. I think it's too late right now for cookies, Eema. So I'll make sure that she have those cookies ready for you. And she sends them for you in your little package. I told her this, the elder, and because she knows Deborah. So I said, Deborah's mother, it's not even Prince Jeriel's mother, it's Deborah's mother, because everybody knows Deborah in my family. And says that she wants some cookies. So make sure that she gets you your little batch of cookies. Hallelujah. Sister Lavia says she'll be there. Y'all willing, she'll be there. Shabbat Shalom to Aria Jackson IV. Kavli Wanza, Shabbat Shalom. Micah 1. Micah, I hope I'm saying it right. Micah 1, Shabbat Shalom. Angel Hall, Shabbat Shalom. Sharita Bell, Shabbat Shalom. Dina Yisrael, Shabbat Shalom. Marsha Reed, Shabbat Shalom. Yvette Prescott, Shabbat Shalom. Bathsheba Yisrael, Shabbat Shalom. Daffy J, Shabbat Shalom. Yard Clemens, Shabbat Shalom. Nia Long, Shabbat Shalom. True Lion, Shabbat Shalom. Zipporah Yosef, Shabbat Shalom. Kashum Levy, Shabbat Shalom. Latia Williams, Shabbat Shalom. Gov Knock, Shabbat Shalom. And to everybody else that's listening on Facebook, on the Uzia Lewi channel, and on the D.C.B channel, Shabbat Shalom to each and every one of you. It is a beautiful Shabbat Eve, and today we're going to hear from a person that I've known for, I believe, maybe about 8 years. And she could correct me, maybe 8 or 9 years. Could be longer, could be shorter. But definitely 9 years. Definitely 9 years I've known this person. So she is the mother of one of the sisters that we all know and love, Sister Alina. Sister Alina. So this is Mama Owens. That's what I call her, Emah Owens, right? And she's going to share with us tonight a little bit of the history of our brothers and sisters from down in Cincinnati. We discovered each other maybe about 10, 11 years ago. Our brothers and sisters. First it was a delegation of sisters that came from Cincinnati to New York, and this is when we were at Shema Yisrael, and I believe the first group of sisters that came, either it was the sisters or Benjamin, Chief Benjamin, Rabbi Chief Benjamin used to have a lounge. He used to own a lounge, and he used to invite groups to come and perform. I forgot, what was the name of it? Zimra Umako. That's what it was. Zimra Umako. Those was like every Sunday evenings. He would have these groups come up and perform all their songs. And I believe that was the first time that we met this group and these sisters. And maybe some brothers came up that time. But that's when we discovered Voices of Zion, and we were able to know that there were brothers and sisters in Cincinnati, Ohio, that were active doing Torah, and that was doing it in the same form and shape that we were doing it in, non-messianic and praising Yah only. And the leader down there was a man by the name of Mori Elisha, the House of Israel. May the Most High God bless his memory. And I'm fortunate enough today, I'm going to give her a call right now, to have one of the members from down there. Now, the reason why I spoke to, I wanted to speak to her is because I know her, right? And sometimes I like to speak to our sisters because sometimes they have more perspective. And not saying that brothers don't have perspective, but our sisters will cover a lot. So let me give her a call and make sure that she's ready for whatever it is that we're doing tonight. So let me just dial her up. Let me turn that off. I want a direct call, because these internet calls sometimes. Hope that she's ready.
Greetings.
Shalom, shalom, Eema. You live on the air.
Oh, shalom, everybody.
How are you? How are you this evening?
I'm giving thanks. And yourself?
I'm doing great. Torah Yah, Torah Yah. I was just introducing you a bit. I was speaking to the people about you, and how long I've known you. I said I believe we've known each other for about 9 years, but I could be wrong. It could be 9 or 10 years, but I was speaking a bit about the history of how we got to find out about the brothers and sisters from Cincinnati, how your daughter came up with a delegation of, I believe, brothers and sisters initially, but I could be wrong, but I believe it was a group of brothers and sisters initially. And from there, they came and they did a performance over at Tova. That's when Chief Benjamin had the club, the Tova Lounge.
Okay.
And they came, they performed, and then after that, it was all history. So I just want you to introduce yourself to the family, let people know who you are. I introduced you as Emah Owens. I always called you Emah. The funny thing is, I know your first name, but I always call you Emah Owens. But I want you to give a formal introduction of yourself to the listening audience. Let them know who you are, where you hail from, and a little bit about your history.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Shabbat Eve thus far. I am Carol. My last name is Owens. I have not changed my name, so everyone calls me Sister Carol, Emah Carol, or Emah Owens, and I'm fine with that. A little bit about myself. I came into
all right, so
let
let me
life.
so let me start out so I can make it easier for you, so that we could follow a order, so you don't feel so nervous, because I feel like you're a little bit nervous. So let me Let me go with these, all right? How did you come to knowledge of self? Who were your teachers, and what year did you come to knowledge of self?
Actually, when I came into the knowledge of self, I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have the teacher that everyone knows. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
When I came in, a lot of the people that I know were kind of just living this way of life for themselves without a main teacher. I don't even know for real how it actually came to Cincinnati, other than the fact through the brother Hananiah, and he was out of Chicago. But I didn't know Hananiah at first. Right. I did not know Hananiah originally. Right. When I came into the knowledge, there were pockets of Israelites in different parts of the city. Okay. And actually, at that time, Israelites had a negative attachment. You know.
About what year? About what year was this?
This was probably 70, 76, 78. Okay. 79, so around that time. Okay. So it was always negative. Okay. They don't. I'm just gonna go ahead and be honest.
Go ahead, be honest.
They don't take baths. They don't take baths. They don't use deodorant, and they don't comb their hair, and all of these things. But it was not so much as if our people were, what they were doing was trying to go natural as possible. Right. So they weren't using the deodorant because of the aluminum. Do you know what I mean? Right. So they had refused to use the deodorant. Right. And so people kind of looked at them as something that they didn't want to be a part of. Right. And actually, it drew me closer to want to know why and who these people are. You know, let me go back a little bit. Prior to me coming into the spiritual part of myself, I had kind of already been introduced to the revolutionary part of myself.
Okay, explain a little bit about
that. Was a part. Right. Yes, because I was a youngster that was followed the AAPRP, the All People's Revolutionary Party. Okay. And that was headed by Kwame Ture. Stokely Carmichael.
Stokely Carmichael from Trinidad.
Yeah. So, and you know, we would go and bliss the campus of UC with literature, you know, about who we are and yada yada yada. So I was doing that as a youngster. Right. So that part of me, we're African people, power for the people. Right. That was who I was.
That was your awakening. That was your first awakening.
That was my awakening. So something was missing still. Right. And that was the spiritual side. Okay. And then once it coupled, you know, I developed who I am today.
Developed who you are today.
So what I did was I was introduced to Christianity as a child, like most of us. Right. I knew that wasn't for me. I didn't have to backtrack. I didn't have to go that way. Right. But I knew about Farrakhan. Okay. Excuse me. And so I knew about Farrakhan. No, let me take this back. Malcolm X. Right. And I knew that that was the platform was something that I could relate to. Okay. You know. Okay. However, I went to the mosque and it didn't feed me. Okay. What I need to be fed spiritually. Right. So that wasn't for me. I'm not down in it. I'm just saying it wasn't for me. So that for me, that was 2 down. And so I had 1 more to go. So then, again, like I said, go ahead.
No, I'm listening because your story is interesting. You're already starting out with a home run.
Right. So, like I was saying, the Israelites had a negative tag on them.
Right.
But I kept hearing things that were making sense. We black, you know, da da da.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling that. Let me just try to get past all what other people are saying about them and listen.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. I think it was about 3 or 4 scriptures that got my attention.
Right.
And that was, and I haven't turned back.
Right.
Although now I know it was different, but those 4 scriptures were captivating for me. And that was, the first one was the Genesis.
Right.
15:13. Know that surely 400 years, that and that.
Right.
That was the first one. Of course, Deuteronomy 28.
Okay.
And then Solomon, Solomon, I am black but comely.
Right.
And then Psalms.
Yeah, Psalms,
83.
Songs, right. Psalms 83. Okay.
And then Psalms 83. Know that assured that the name of Israel shall be no more in remembrance.
Right.
It was bingo. That was it for me. That's what it was.
That was the combination.
2 to the left, 1 to the right, 4 to the right. That was the combination for me. Right. And so I haven't looked back.
Okay.
I haven't looked back. So as I said, I was listening to other people, and then I started hearing about this brother, this elder, that and we didn't have the cell phones back then.
Right.
Remember?
Right.
So everything was word of mouth, and
no
this
social
was
media.
Different communities.
Right.
Right. This was different communities, and I would hear them say, somebody would say, you know, Hananiah's going to be up at so and so and so. You know, Hananiah's going to be here this week. And so, who is this Hananiah? And so I decided to check out this elder. And you talking about droves of people coming to see a man.
Hananiah.
And Hananiah. Hananiah is the same person. Actually, he was here. He's had a radio show.
He's still around?
Oh, no. He was about 60, 70 then.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
He's out of Chicago.
He was out of
Chicago.
Okay.
And he ended up here on his way to New York, I'm told.
Right.
It's he knew Elijah Muhammad.
Right.
And a lot of those people back then. He was also a part of the Commandment Keepers.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So that's the connection. Okay. Because I was trying to figure out this brother Hananiah, where he came from. You see, this is why
I'll send you a picture of him.
Okay, great. This is why I like this history, because we begin to connect the dots, you know. So if he was from Commandment Keepers, basically is the same branch as Rabbi Matthew, which makes the connection to Cincinnati, and it's all a big circle. You know, we all connected some way or the other. You know, what they call it, 6 degrees of separation, however they call that, but something like that. Continue, Eema. Continue.
So, I said, you know what? I'm going now. I had a car. I was young, but I had a car.
Okay.
And
you had some money. You had a car in the 70s and black.
This was a little late. This was probably 17, 18.
Okay, 17, 18. Okay.
And we drove to Avondale.
Okay.
Yeah, Avondale. And there were droves of people at this particular time. No, this particular time I was older, about 19. We drove to Avondale. I had a carload of folk. You know, we went, and it was like people from the neighboring neighborhoods that were Israelites were just coming to see this man named Hananiah.
Okay.
yeah, and it was kind of it was like I'm just gonna say this, of course.
Go ahead.
Don't
Go ahead. Just
take
speak.
it
Just
wrong.
speak. I'm not.
But I'm just saying that
Right.
it's kind of like if the people was going to meet or hear the law read.
Okay. Right.
You kind of, I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's
like
what you were going to do.
How,
that's what you were going to do. That's what you were going to do.
Yeah.
Right. Nothing wrong with that.
Right. So that's how it was. It's like, okay, because this person had the information that no one else had for us.
Mm-hmm.
Although we had the same book.
Right.
He was the person that made that come to life, so to speak.
Right.
And not myself, but there were others that Hannah and I was close to.
Right.
Like my ex-husband.
Right.
Which we were together then, but
right.
They would go to his house and he would tell me, like, yeah, we would go in his house on a Friday. Wouldn't even come out till Sunday. And didn't even know the time had passed.
Wow. They was absorbing all that knowledge.
Just absorbing the knowledge. But you know what? Hannah and I was in the newspapers here.
Okay.
And they accused him of having something to do with a murder that took place in Guyana.
Okay.
And the FBI had charged him. Well, not charged him, but they wanted to know if he had anything to do with it because the person in Guyana was Israelite.
Okay.
Just to let you know we all over.
Right.
Which we already know that.
Right.
But I'm not sure when.
All right. So just to be clear, in Guyana, to everybody out there that's listening, in Guyana, you do have different sets of Israelites. You have the so that it'll be clear. You have the Lusaf movement that was started by Corn Levy, and Corn Mikhail went down there with Israelites from Shabbat Yisrael, and now I believe they're like the Hebrew the Hebrew family of Guyana. I could be wrong, but I believe that's their name. And there was also another group by the name of, I'm trying to remember there was another group down there when Corn Mikhail and them got down there that were down there already. And this group was part of like almost the government. The leader of the group almost had a tie-in with the government at that point. So I just want everybody out there to know a separation, because with Corn Mikhail's group, from my knowledge, I don't really think that he had any connections with Hananiah. So it had to be.
What year did he go out?
Corn Mikhail Corn Mikhail was in Guyana right after the whole Jim Jones thing. Right after that.
Oh, okay.
It was right after that. So that was what I don't remember. Yeah, I was a baby back then. So Jim Jones was what, 78, 70, whatever that was, but there were two different groups out there. So I want people to know that there was two different groups out there. Right. So continue, Eema.
But that was something that I did not know.
Right.
That there were other groups that were there. All I knew was that there were Israelites there. I didn't know when Cohen went. I did not know.
Yeah.
However, they investigated him, and of course, they didn't find any evidence that there was a connection.
Right.
It was just, you hear the word Israelite, and then everybody goes crazy.
Panic. Yeah.
We're all one person.
Right.
There's no individuality amongst us. So, so they got past that, and he was a little statured man.
Okay.
He was small in stature. He was self-employed.
Right.
He did plumbing, odd jobs, and he was, just took care of himself, very well, because he would carry like a tool bag, like a bag with all this little stuff in it. Just a little man, little guy carrying hammers, whatever's in the tool, whatever you would need to do your job.
Right.
Yeah. Something that was very heavy, and he was doing it.
Right.
But how so that's all I pretty much know and remember about Hananiah. I know his teachings were that later became challenged.
Right.
Because he was one that taught sex was in the garden.
Right.
I don't know if you know anything about that.
He taught
I'm not
what?
sure.
He taught what? Repeat that?
That was sex that happened in the garden.
Sex that happened with
serpent,
with the serpent and Eve.
Yeah.
Right. I've heard that teachings. Yeah, I've heard that teaching. We don't got to go into explanation.
Yeah, that was our understanding.
Right.
He also taught that the Messiah was Yahshua.
Yahshua, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
But he didn't. Not JC.
Right.
What Alicia calls JC.
Right.
Not him. Actually, he would call him cheese and crackers. But not him.
So how did that evolution come from? Because obviously you guys dropped that kind of understanding. How did that evolution and that whole change come? How did the knowledge of Israel start in Cincinnati, Ohio, at least the branch that you were affiliated with, like House of Israel? How did Maury Elisha go through that transformation to break away from that or from that understanding? Because we know Maury Elisha, he was kind of like a harsh type of, he went hard at the New Testament. So I knew that at some point, if Hananiah, and I assume Hananiah was his teacher also, how did that transformation happen?
Studying, and no one told him. He found out on his own with the blessings of the Creator.
Right.
That there was no, you can't couple the Creator with anyone.
Right.
So Elisha told us that he went back to everybody that he taught that concept to.
Right.
And,
and he told
apologize
them he apologized and he taught them wrong. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
yeah.
So in that transformation, did Maury Elisha have anyone else that was with him that came out of that from it? Since you were there, Maury Elisha was there, so you like one of the pioneers, you could say.
Let me say this.
Yes.
I did not know Elisha then.
You didn't know him then, okay.
No, I didn't know Elisha because I skipped a part. Here in Cincinnati, the majority of Israelites that I was telling you about, those droves of people, how I met Elisha was because those droves of people that appeared to be like a sea of people, 3/4 of those people no longer
keep Torah.
Were Israelites.
Right.
Well, they were. Let me take that back. Let me clarify that. They had switched to Rastafarians.
Okay.
They had changed over to Rastafari.
Right.
And that left a handful of Israelites.
Right.
From all the Israelites that I knew, from all the different communities, once the marijuana and I don't want to blame it on marijuana or reggae.
She said marijuana and reggae. Yes, you can't
Just
blame it on you
Rastafari.
can't blame it on marijuana and
No.
reggae. No.
I don't want to do that, but I will say this, that a lot of the brothers here were going, they had a connection, okay, with the ganja. That was the word used back then, ganja. And when that wave came in, we lost a lot of people. It was like, choose what you gonna do.
Right.
You gonna be Israelite, you gonna be Rastafarian.
Right.
You gonna upgrade, you gonna,
Right.
stay an Israelite.
Right.
And I chose to stay an Israelite.
Hallelujah. That sounds great.
I just chose to, but I'm still friends with them.
Right.
When I get information, I still share. They have functions, I still go, and
But the philosophy is almost similar. It's not that far apart. I think a lot of Rastas believe that they're the children of Israel. The conquering Lion of Judah, and only thing is they put Selassie up there like being a god, and that's where they kind of go wrong. But so okay.
So that led me into that right there when I had to and see at that time when everybody was just Israelites. Right. We were delivering each other's babies.
Right.
Somebody called on the phone like so and so. We stayed with that sister. I'm not a midwife by no means.
Right.
But I had been in deliveries, watching deliveries, handing it off to the father.
Wow.
I've been in that situation.
Right.
And children were being homeschooled. It was totally, let's be self-sufficient as possible.
Right.
Let's not hang on to the system. We want to protect our children. It was more of a communal type of spirit then.
This is in the Israelite community, or this was with the Rasta?
Israelite.
Wow.
This was in the Israelite community.
So it seemed like in every corner where people were practicing this way of life, that they had let me see, how can I put it? They had a sense of self-educating, of self-sufficiency, right? Because that's the similar story that you hear from different groups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I noticed that too when I listen to other people from other areas.
Right.
It's as if when everything was basic,
right.
That's where you saw the love. That's where you saw the spirituality.
Right.
Was more. It was on high, I would say.
Right.
After that. After there was the split for my children, I had a conversation with my husband at the time, and I said that we need to do something. So therefore, I started going to Alicia's class because I still wanted them to be around Israelites.
About what year was that? About what year was that?
Well, that had to be 80. I think it's probably 82.
82. Okay.
84.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long? And at that point, Maury Alicia already had House of Israel open, or was the place named something different? Was it named House of Israel already? Was it at the same location?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was called the House of Israel on Brewster Avenue.
Right.
Mm-hmm. House of Israel on Brewster Avenue.
And that's the same location that it still continues to be at?
No.
Oh, okay.
His barbershop was right across right next door to it.
Okay.
Up until he died.
Okay.
So that was still there up until recently.
So how was that journey? How did he go about? Do you know that story? How he went about to get the House of Israel, and how did he begin that? How did he begin that journey? Did he ever share that with you?
I don't know how he came about that building.
Right.
I don't know how he came about.
Right.
How that all came about. That was prior to me, and I don't know.
So, all right. So in the HOI, who were like the major figures? Who were the people that started out with him? Who were the teachers, or was he the sole teacher? How did that work out?
He had a friend, a childhood friend, actually, named Daniel, Maury Dan.
Maury Dan.
Well, that was his first name. Him. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, so that's who, I think you probably met him. He was at the conference when you guys came here.
Yeah, I met him. I know Maury.
Yeah. He didn't travel with us when we came to New York.
Okay.
With Alicia.
Right.
But, so those were the two. And then there was another brother by the name, oh goodness, I can't think of his name. Those were the main two.
Right. Okay, so Maury Dan and Maury Alicia, those were like the teachers.
Right, and those were the main two.
Right.
Up until his death.
Up until his death. Okay.
Up to his death. Now he did make mores.
Right.
But those were the main two.
Those were the teachers. Those were the teachers of the teachers that are out there now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Maury Dan, as they had, Maury Dan had his thing in another part of the city, in Lincoln Heights.
Okay.
And then they merged the classes.
About what year was that?
Tyree and Chaniel. Alina just told me. Tyree and Chaniel. That was their name together.
Okay. Together.
He was one of the other. He was another teacher.
Okay.
But
about what year? About what year did they merge their classes? Did they come together? Do you remember that?
It probably was in the 90s.
In the 90s. Okay.
It was in the 90s.
So when you say childhood friends, what do you mean by childhood? Like as far back as they can remember? Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were in school together.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. They were in school together. So when Alicia came into law, so did he. Okay. He told him about it. Okay. And being friends, he trusts his friend to know, what was best for, what was a good thing.
Wow.
And they just stayed friends forever up until Maury Alicia. Yeah.
Wow. That's great. That's great. That's a great story in itself, just to know that that they, because in friendships, you got fallouts, you got people not speak. I'm sure they had their disagreements, like any friendship. But it's just great to know that he was there all the way for the journey, and that he unfortunately his friend died, and I would think that a friend like that would be what you would consider like one of your best friends. So that's definitely that's a blessing just to even hear that story, and to be shared with the people, to know that's a relationship that's coming from before they even knew Yah, before they truly even knew Yah. That's great. So Maury Alicia wasn't always non-messianic. We kind of cleared that already. He was messianic, I guess, at one point, and then he did some studies.
But it wasn't. But I think they really felt as though, like some. Does this make sense? I'm just going to throw this out.
No, go ahead. Just say it.
I think there's degrees. There's degrees of messianic.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. I do know if you are looking to anyone, because when I was with the AAPRP, people were into churches and people were coming from different backgrounds.
Right.
But as far as religion, they felt as though when people talked about religion, they didn't talk about JC as
God,
as a white man.
Right.
they talked to him. They looked at him as a prophet, as a revolutionary.
Right.
And so that's how I was taught.
Okay.
That he was more of a revolutionary.
Okay, I
a
get
black
what you're
revolutionary.
saying. I get what you're saying. So it was so they turned them into a warrior, JC.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
To be accepted. Right.
Right.
They didn't want to throw him all the way away.
Right.
So
right.
they made him into a revolutionary, and that's how I saw him.
Right.
Right. As a brother that was a revolutionary.
Okay. So and so now in the HOI years, right? When I say HOI people, I mean House of Israel, just because I'm saying it in the acronym form. What were the roles of sisters in the HOI? How were sisters viewed? What was the roles of sisters? How was it for sisters in the HOI?
One thing about Maureen Alicia is that women were valued, equal, in terms of, when I say equal, not in strength, more so in intellect.
Right.
Your thoughts and your opinions was just as important.
Okay.
Actually, he would sometimes, I'm not going to say pit us against each other, but okay, we want to hear from the women, Okay, the women say this, the men say that, all in fun. Who's the winner? We were,
right,
friendly
competition. Right, friendly competition.
Friendly competition.
Right.
Because he wanted women to always know that you have to know this for yourself. You cannot depend on someone else to get you to the Most High.
Right.
That's solely upon you.
Right.
You have to have your own relationship. Right. So it's incumbent on you to learn this book.
Right.
And that's pretty much how he was in terms of women.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds.
And so that's why we kind of find, I'll speak for myself, that's why I kind of find it, I found it a little strange. It was different. I won't say strange. It was different when I started seeing other groups of Israelites. And, it was just different. The role of a woman.
I get what you're saying.
But and I'm sure they see us different.
Right. All right. So
but the women were pushed to learn the book.
Right. Okay. So I know I send. So as far as HOI or House of Israel, you guys were known for your singing, for your Voices of Zion. How did that whole band or singing group start in that class? How did that come about? Do you remember the genesis of it? Did it start with Voices of Zion, or was it a different name before that? How did it go? Can you give me the history on that?
There was another group prior to Voices of Zion.
Right.
Prior to us coming to the House of Israel.
Right.
There was a group called 12 Tribes of Israel.
I remember that group, 12 Tribes.
Right. That's a Morah Halakhiah.
Okay.
That's the group that they had 2 albums out.
Right.
They broke up, and then the birth of Voices of Zion came on the scene.
Okay.
And pretty much that's it. And then,
how did your daughter become the lead to Voices of Zion? Can you explain that story to me?
they all went to college,
Okay.
and most of them, they were college friends.
Okay.
And at the beginning, the people that went to college together
Right.
and that was coming down on the weekends
Right.
to keep Shabbat, it was them at first that were singing, were the singers.
Okay.
Okay, and then people like myself and Mora Halakaya and others joined.
Okay.
But they were doing stuff at Central State.
Okay.
And then when they would come to Cincinnati, they would perform.
They will perform. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's
they
how.
would perform.
So that's
And 12 Tribes was still around at that time. And then they kind of just, I don't know what happened. I don't know if anything happened. It was just that they weren't there any longer. They weren't singing anymore.
They weren't singing anymore.
Different people, yeah, because I believe different people from that, I do know that different people from the 12 Tribes had stopped coming around. So
Okay.
I think they may have been left with not enough people to carry it on out. But I don't know if anything actually happened that caused them to stop singing.
Right. Okay. So a lot of places or congregations have mottos, right? Benazar motto back in here in New York City, the motto was to win, friend, and influence people to a better way of life, which the same motto we continue today with D.C.B. Did the House of Israel?
I didn't hear you. Say that again.
All right. So
say that again.
So Benazar, the congregation that is one of the originating congregations that we spawned from, along with Shabbat Yisrael. Well, Benazar had a motto which was to win friends and influence people to a better way of life. A lot of congregations have mottos. Did the House of Israel have any particular motto or idea that they live by, or that the leadership set up for you to follow? Was there any particular motto?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of.
Not that I know of.
Was there like a saying that Moreh Elisha said that stuck out that could have been a motto?
All I know that we said, and I'm hearing it today, is hallelujah, Yah is righteous.
Right. Okay, Yah is righteous all the time.
Yah is righteous. All the time.
You know, I use that line. I use that line. I use that line. When I first heard him, I was like, I like that line right there. I'm gonna use that one. Put that one in my arsenal.
Right. And I do know, just like Hannah and I had a radio show,
right?
So did Alicia have a radio show.
Oh yeah, how did that come about?
I really don't know how it came about, but he ended up having a radio show, and it was called Truth or Tradition.
Right.
And you could call in and ask questions. He would sometimes have guests, but
right.
That was his way of waking up people and getting the truth
right
out about what he would call JC,
right,
Jesus Christ,
right. And
so
and how
he woke up a lot of people.
Right.
The Most High used him. Let me just correct myself on that.
Right.
Most High used him to wake up a lot of people.
Right.
Because people know him or call him the JC Slayer.
He definitely was that. Now, this is a more interesting question. Have you ever seen him lose a debate against any Christian? Did he ever lose a debate?
No, not
never
that I
seen
know
him.
of.
You never seen him take a L, huh?
I've never seen him take a L.
He was a master. He was a master.
And if he did, we didn't know anything about it.
I doubt that he took an L. Maybe early when he started out, but we would never know about that. But I don't think he ever. With the truth, you can't. With the truth, you can't take a loss. So I'm sure that he was good with whatever he was doing. Right.
One of his first debates I put together.
Right.
For him, I knew a Christian brother. Right. Well, actually, he wasn't. Actually, he was a minister, right. But I knew him before he was a minister. Right. So he felt comfortable challenging me in my way of life. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So so we had this place called the Neighborhood House. Okay. Where everybody would come. It's like the neighborhood center, you know.
Right. The rec center or something like that. Right.
Right. And this was set up before I even started going to Alicia's class. Right. Because I don't know if I told you, I wasn't going to Alicia's class, but I knew of Alicia.
Right. You did tell me
so,
at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. So I reached out to him and told him that this guy wanted to challenge Israelites. Right. And how we were wrong. And I knew Alicia was stronger than me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right, so it was only logical for me to go get, like, hey, I got somebody for you, you know? Right. So that's how that was all. So we set it up and we had questions and people came out. It was good. It was nice. Right. It was really nice. And I still see that brother today. He's still preaching though.
More Alicia had this way that he, especially when he was destroying Christianity, that you could see he literally got under people's skin. Yeah. Like there was one time we were in when he came up and he taught at Shema and we were there. And there were like a group of Christians there. They got invited. And More Alicia, the way he took his time and then that southern drawl and the way he twisted, the way he turned his head like he turned it like crooked and he just looking down and then he leans on the podium. And then he's just saying this so like, and he's just cutting you through because the man knew both books. I always tell people, in order for you to become a master and try to tear something down, you better know it back, forwards and backwards. And he knew both books. And I always admired that about him when I first met him because we had been doing it in New York. New York, we also go into the New Testament, and especially the school that we came from, it was always taught that you should learn it for the purposes to be able to tear it down because it's something that our people were caught up in, so we had to learn it in order to break it down and to be able to tear it apart. And when I saw Maury Alicia, I was like, wow, I thought we were the only ones that really went in on this stuff like this, but he was I have to admit, he was on another level. He was really brilliant and magnificent with the way he did it. And you could see that he really, really studied that. He really, really studied that.
I believe that was his mission.
Right.
I believe that was his mission because I believe that in terms of teachers and leaders, they can only take you so far. Right. Then you graduate, just like, school. When you get out of grade school, you go to junior high and so on and so on. Right. So his that was his portion. Let me say that.
Okay. Absolutely.
In my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
In my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
That was his portion.
I could see that. To awaken God's people and to take them away from Christianity. You guys used to, or you guys, they still continue to do it. The Sacred Laws Conference. What was the purpose of the Sacred Laws Conference that or what is the purpose of the Sacred Laws Conference? Or originally, what was the purpose that, I guess it was Maury Elisha who set it up? What was the purpose that he set it up for?
Actually, it's called the restoration of the Sacred Laws Conference.
The restoration of the Sacred Laws Conference. Okay.
Yeah. To be able to get the brothers and sisters from all over,
right.
you know, and the leadership would be on the panel and to discuss, so that we basically be on one
accord,
mind,
right.
Be of one mind.
Right.
And that was her whole purpose. So that they could hash out, you know, root out, pull up, and
right.
come up with.
Yep, that was his saying. He always said that also, to root up, to pull out, to tear down, and to build back up.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And so that was the whole purpose.
Right.
And that was it.
That was it. Within the organization, did you have any particular job? Or you were just a congregant? Okay.
No, I didn't have a particular job. Everybody kind of like pitched in.
Okay. Everybody did. They got in where they fit in. Do you feel that Maury Elisha got to accomplish most of the things he had in mind to do? Was there something that he wanted accomplished?
Just being a dragon slayer, not a dragon slayer.
Right.
Be slayer. Yeah, I think
right.
that was
his calling.
That was his calling, and I think he realized that. And
right.
I think that's why he was so well at it.
Right.
Yeah, I believe that he knew that was what he was put here to do.
I have a couple
more.
To
try to win many souls for the Most High as possible, and he did a damn good job at that.
So
yeah, he did.
I have a couple more questions, then I'm gonna let you go because it's getting late. How many?
You're not patting that leg, are you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm shaking it already.
See, I'm in another room. I can't see.
I'm shaking both legs. Eema, we for all of those of you that don't know what we're talking about, when I was speaking to her earlier, she was saying, "Yeah, I know when you're getting tired because you start shaking that leg." I said, "Wow, you very observant because that's when I'm tired. I start shaking my leg and I start getting like anxious is because I'm tired." And she said, "Sometimes you yawn. I know when you're tired now." So when she said, "You ain't shaking that leg right now," I said, "I'm shaking both of them." Both legs are shaking right now. So let me see. How many House of Israel branches are there throughout the country? Do you know? That because that ultimately carries the legacy of the man who put forth, who began it, and not only his legacy, but in giving glory to the Creator first and foremost, because I know that from understanding the type of man that he is, and from just speaking to you, you can hear that he never wanted the glory. He always probably told y'all, "Don't give the glory to me, give it to the Most High." But us as human beings, we do respect what he's done and the work that he put in. And part of this interview was to find out your history, but to also, because he's no longer here, to speak for himself. So someone who's been there with him pretty much most of the time, you know, how many branches of House of Israel are throughout the country?
Let me see. I think that as far as classes, as far as here in Cincinnati,
right,
it's four classes here.
Right.
Vegas, there was a class.
Vegas, okay.
There was North Carolina. There was a class.
North Carolina, Okay.
Um,
What's the one in
Mississippi,
Florida? Mississippi,
yeah, and Florida.
Florida.
That's all I can think of
What
right
about
now.
Georgia?
Yeah,
Georgia.
that's Elkanah, right?
Elkanah. I know him. I always see him, and he's very diligent. When I see him, he's always on doing the job. Really serious brother to the and he's always seems like he's serious and doing. He's always online trying to teach the people, and you have to appreciate people like that. So yeah, I think maybe there we could end it there. Toda Eema. I don't know if you want to give a message, and I know you're doing a lot of work down there in Cincinnati. I seen that you were in an article. Your daughter shared the link with us that you were. Now, what was that article all about? What was that whole situation about? Would you care to explain it to the people who are listening at this moment?
Let me say this too. I'm not attached to any class here.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I'll visit them, but once Elisha died, things fell apart. In all honesty.
Okay.
Teachings start to change.
Right.
But you know what happened up there at the in Washington D.C.
Right.
With the guy that had that argued, or he didn't argue.
Right.
But for those listeners that may not know,
right. And what she's speaking about is the whole thing by the Lincoln Memorial, where those brothers were out there and going back and forth with the high school kids and with the MAGA hats, and the Native Americans were out there and so forth and so on. I believe that's what you're speaking about, right?
Right, correct.
Okay. Continue, Emah.
Well, what happened, I was hearing it in the news, and I came home from work one day, and I sat in the chair, turned on the television, and on the news, all I heard was the Israelites, you know,
right.
Negative, the hate group, and all of this, and I said, that's it. I can't take it anymore.
Right.
And I decided to reach out to people from those classes that I don't go to.
Right.
But I wanted one person from each group.
Right.
That would work with me.
Right.
To address that situation. So we ended up talking to one of the journalists that works for the Inquirer, which is a major paper here.
Okay.
And he's also affiliated with USA Today.
USA Today.
So
okay.
He came to the house. I invited him over to my house, and we did an interview, and and to try to explain, one, we are not. It's not a religion,
right?
And I think even some people that come into the law now think that it's a religion,
it's a religion.
And
right.
I don't understand that.
Right.
But however, I wanted him to understand that, one, this is not a religion. This is a way of life. You would not find a founder or a founder's date attached to being an Israelite.
Right.
And that also those are our brothers, and we happen to not. There's individuality,
right.
And it's important for everybody to know that there's individuality.
Right.
So that was the whole purpose, to say, yes, they are Israelites, but they do things differently
right.
than we do.
Right.
You cannot use a brush to paint us all the same.
With a broad stroke.
It just doesn't work that way.
There you go.
That's why we don't do that way.
Right.
And so that's what that was about.
Okay.
That's what that was about, and it led to him being interviewed
Right.
by someone,
Right.
and he shared his experience with us, and I think we made a good impression on him.
And that's what we need. We need more of that.
And that's what we need.
Yeah, we need more of that.
Not that we need his approval.
Right.
Right. Not that we need their approval, but just so they, know that we're not going to bite you.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So, Emah Owens, I truly appreciate this interview and this moment that you spent with me and the listening audience. I told you it was going to be good, and once you got going, you did great. So Torah YAH for your life, for the life of your family, your household. May the Most High Yah of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob bless you. And I'm thankful for this moment that you allowed me to have with you. And I hope that you have a good night's sleep. And that's all I could say. Do you want to give any closing remarks before we go?
I'd like to thank you for inviting me to share. I appreciate it. And for anyone that's still on the call, not the call, I didn't mean to say call.
You got almost 100 people still listening. You got almost 100 people listening.
What I would like to say to everybody is, people, let's get it together. Let's get it together. We got to get it together.
Mm-hmm.
Because they coming for us.
Right.
Every time you can't turn on the TV, you can't turn on the radio. They coming for us.
Right.
So we need to get together so we can invoke upon the Most High, so He could be our shield and our protection. But we have to get it together.
That's right.
We have to get it together so He can hide us. That's what that scripture says.
That's right.
So let's pray that all this division and let our leadership humble out.
Right.
And let's just get it together.
So,
it doesn't matter, and this is what I tell people. It doesn't really matter if I see the land, because it's good enough for me to know that we're going, because the Most High is not going to come. His word is not going to come back void.
right.
But every step that I try to take, I pray that the Most High will consider it as good. In doing so, that might be one more step toward the whole.
Right.
All of the whole making that journey.
Right.
Whether I see it or not. You know what I'm saying? Whether I see it or not. I can't turn back. There's nothing back there for me. So I have to stay fast. I have to stay on this journey.
Right.
And again, in hopes that the Most High will consider my good,
right,
so that it might help the future people, our future, getting home.
Hallelujah.
So that's all I want to say. Let's get it together. Let's stop playing Israelite.
Let's be Israelites. That's right. Hallelujah.
All righty.
Eema, I appreciate it. Shalom, shalom. May the Most High bless you.
Thank you, and you as well, and all your listeners.
Hallelujah.
Shalom.
Shalom. There you have it, Emah Owens. I knew that was going to be a good one. When people have experienced things, I've learned now through my journey, and more so now in these past 4 years, I've learned that people have stories, and I just can't concentrate on what I know or who you have to go abroad, because this Israelite story and history is all over. It's not just in New York City, it's all over. People have stories, and the Most High God is awakening His people wherever they're at. So I want everyone to give a nice hand to Emah Owens, everybody to give the clap hands or the whatever it is that gives you approval, thumbs up, whatever, praying hands. I don't know what's going on today, but the 100%, all that stuff, all of y'all that's still listening and near your phones or the computer, let her know that the history she gave us tonight was definitely invaluable, and we got to make another connection with our history and how it connects, how we putting the puzzle together and how we doing certain things and getting certain things together. So I guess with that, let me see. I guess with that, we could, before we go out, we could go out with some Voices of Zion. Although I don't know when this song was recorded, if it was still Voices of Zion. So Alina will have to confirm this for me because she recorded this song with me. So I don't know if Voices of Zion was still together, but before I play that song, I want to tell you all, please join us tomorrow, 11 a.m. on the Bay D.C.B channel. You know how we do. We're going to be praising, going through lessons. Tomorrow, we're going to go through the whole book of Esther because we just ended out from the season of Purim, which came in on Wednesday night. So we're going to be going through that history and let people know what that history was all about. I probably should have done it last week, but I'm ending up doing it this week so that people will have an understanding of it and what that whole history is about. So once again, hoping and praying that the Most High God be with each and every one of you. Shalom, shalom, and I leave you with Voices of Zion. I don't know if it's Voices of Zion, but Sister Alina from the Voices of Zion and the song Higher right here on Shabbat Night Talk.
Take my problems and give them to Yahweh. Eema. Then you and me, that the whole
This one is from VOZ.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa. Skinny down, boy. Say, Babylon, you wrong. Babylon, you wrong. Babylon, you're wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Yes. Babylon, you wrong. Babylon, you're wrong. Babylon, you're wrong. Babylon, you're wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Yeah. We lost 100 million in the middle passage. Stored and packed away like unused baggage. Crying as we're dying on one another. Oh, 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 oh. Babylon, your history proves. Yeah, 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 yeah. Your business on the block for your monetary soda. Split up my family for your riches and your gold. You neither show no mercy to the young nor the old. Babylon, you can't feel pay, boy, you soon can walk on down. Who would have guessed you brought Willie Lynch? On top of that, the New Testament placed us in chains, changed our names. Until this day, we are destroyed. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. Babylon, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. Babylon, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. Babylon, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. Babylon, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. Babylon, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, yeah. Practice with the whip, made us turn around and worship a white man on a stick. Let us to our graves by giving us a God that could not save. Babylon, your history proves you're wrong. Say Babylon, you will learn when the tables will turn. When the righteous shall rule in Babylon, you feel burn. No more mental slavery, teaching lies to the youth. The righteous shall prevail with the Almighty's truth. To the righteous so standing, be strong and bold. To execute the judgment upon the idiot them was old. The truth has been told from the days of old. Then we shall rejoice and don't cry no more. Yeah, 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 yeah. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. How Babylon, I say you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. How Babylon, I say you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, yeah. Oh, wicked Babylon, yes, your time has come. By the hand of Yah, you will fall. Murderers, child molesters, and you rapers of our mothers. Oh, Babylon, you will fall. Babylon, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. Babylon, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. Babylon, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. Babylon, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. Babylon, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong now. Babylon, you're wrong. How Babylon, I say you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, yeah.
So Babylon, you're wrong. By Voices of Zion, I believe the lead singer on that is Brother Sarak. I believe I'm saying it. The elder name is Sarak. I hope I'm saying it right. Zarak. Please don't kill me for saying the wrong name. But I believe that's his name. Great group. They did well, when the sun goes down, I believe you could get their music on iTunes or on one of those formats. Just look for Voices of Zion. The name of that album should be Yah is King. I believe it's the name of the album. Yah is King. So, yeah, definitely. So, people, I got to go to sleep now. So, don't forget to share the link. This was a really productive talk. This was a really good, some really good information. So, share the history. Let everybody know what's up and what's going on and how we doing it. Emah Owens did a great job tonight. So see y'all in the AM. Shalom, shalom. May the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob bless us all. Hallelujah.